Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCS North American Challenger. We're moving into our next series, our lower bracket match. My name is Fear Dragon. I'm joined by Nathanius at the desk. It is going to be a Terran versus Protoss. I'm excited for this because I've been just doing the TvT so far. All right.
Sorry.
Are you in emote only mode right now?
My man.
Hope you guys have enjoyed that in the chat. But all right, guys.
I'm just trying to have some fun. That's all.
I think emote only mode is a lot of fun.
Some people watching this stream are very creative with their charades. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's just really a reward to the more StarCraft channels you sub to, the more expressive you can be.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, this is the upcoming matches once again. It's going to be Astrea versus Epic. Following that up, it's going to be Masa versus Semper, which, holy cow, I am looking forward to that match. And then, of course, that decider match to see who are those last two players that are going to make it out of the group.
Yeah, some good TvT, fun watching the big drops in that last series. And Astrea did have a rough time against Masa, who I think stands head and shoulders above everybody else in this group. Masa's the guy to get out. I saw you drop your pen, Fear Dragon. I'm going to let everybody know that just happened. But Epic, you know, that last series is also a bit rough. A little bit of some stretch games, really trying to claw some of them back, but unable to do it. And this one, you know what? This loser match to me feels like we snapped the pool cue in half. We threw it on the floor. There you go. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
And that's it.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
It's just a bloodbath fight.
Oh, okay, okay.
Get out.
Okay, you know what? I can feel that.
Yeah.
So it's
gonna be ugly. It's gonna be dirty.
That I agree with.
There's gonna be some mudslinging, pocket sand, and everything.
So the kind of funny thing is, Astrea, we've talked about this before, he's an old school player. He's actually used to play a lot more back in the day. But whenever he does come back, he actually gets pretty close to, I would say, like one of the top players, and like not necessarily like Neeb or Scarlet level or anything like that, but he gets pretty high up there in terms of North American skill. And I do think that I've seen him play, I mentioned this to Zombie Grab before, but he's been playing on the ladder. He's got some pretty dirty builds out there, so just prepare yourself if he does decide to bust any of those out. But he also has a pretty solid macro game, so I think that this is going to be a really good series.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Mostly because I think this should end up being closer. Like if you guys want to watch Terran vs. Protoss that isn't Masa stomping on somebody's face, this should end up being a much closer series. And I think Astrea has a much better chance of taking on somebody like Epic here. Yeah. And I do think that he's going to have still a good shot at making it out of this group if he maintains a solid level of play, mostly because I think Astrea can also beat our other player in this group. With that being said, we are loaded in. We are here on Dreamcatcher. In the bottom right position, we have the red Terran player representing Psystorm Gaming. He is Epic.
What I found out, actually, from Foxer on Twitter, is playing from Europe.
Is
in a PC cafe on a computer setup that's not his, on a hardware setup of mouse and keyboard that's not his, on a monitor that he's not used to.
Well,
so that should be fun. But spawning up here, he still played pretty well for given all of that.
But why though?
Spawning up here in the top left, we do have our blue Protoss player from Sloth Esports Club. It is Astrea.
And if you say it funny, it sounds like Astrea. You know me.
Sorry, it just immediately flashed me back to you on your stream trying to do like a pig impersonation.
It was a fantastic pig.
It was a great pig impersonation, don't get me wrong.
Everything went upside down too.
I know.
High level plays.
The only thing you didn't put upside down was the game, and that would have been the true upside down Australia.
I don't hate everybody that much. We have the Nexus on the way, the Barracks is on the way, and I liked that Astrea was willing to do some kind of bold stuff. I mean, it was probably the worst player to ever do it against. If you got away with it, maybe. But going Nexus first against Masa, it was just like a lie. You know?
Not a fan of that either, yeah. It's a cute play. Masa is one of those players that just loves to get in your face, and he also just loves to throw out weird builds and aggressions. He'll do things that are normal with a slight change or a slight deviation, and then it just throws your entire normal standard stuff off. So when you try and do something weird, it gets even worse.
Yeah. It's just like, I understand trying to do weird stuff when you're playing against someone that you don't think that you can beat, because especially when there's money on the line, you know, you have to try and do something, and that probe managing to hide away.
Gonna
We got a reactor factory follow-up with the second gas being taken, so this could be like some cyclone pressure.
a sentry again. I really don't know what to think
What was
of
it? Sentry, Adept, Stalker, Adept, Blink into died a Marine tank push.
So I've seen Astrea go for like the fast sentry. You actually use it in a big attack with a bunch of Blink Stalkers and like a Warp Prism before, but he didn't seem to go for that the last game. He's gonna go for a pretty quick forge this game. We'll see if he has a second one at some point.
So, you know, if Forge this early, when you've opened with an Adept and now Twilight, just makes me think that it's going to be like a Resonating Glaive plus one. Yeah. Wait.
To one-shot those Marines.
Well, I mean,
Or
the
two-shot
Adept's
Marines.
two-shot Marines.
Two-shot, sorry, not
you
one-shot.
get +1 attack on them.
Yep.
So, and that's before Combat Shield, by the way. And of course, it'll allow the two-shot SCVs. It's a really difficult build to deal with if you don't see it coming. Like, this build used to be a lot more powerful because you didn't need the Forge. That's why the Adept damage got changed to, it was like 22, it got moved down to like 21 or something.
Yeah.
Whatever, it was
It's
like
the one
23 and
damage
it got-
reduction.
Yeah.
Oh no, the sentry!
Probably
Oh, sorry.
one of the most, like, just barely finessed out changes to the game. But I have to say, the Forge is a dead giveaway, and he didn't scout it. So that is a huge win. Because, yeah, there we go. Resonating Glaives is on the way. And this is 100% an extremely hard build to hold. This is so difficult. If a Warp Prism shows up, or if you don't have a wall and the Adepts all shade around everything, you are super duper dead. Hallucinating Phoenix scouts the drop. So really, I'd say that right now, everything in this game actually comes down to this mine drop. If he can really heavily delay the economy of Astrea and limit his ability to produce those Adepts, then there's something. But you know what? He's going to take a third base behind this. So he doesn't want to commit to like an all-in. I'm guessing he wants to just like have the Adepts to harass, which is, I don't know. I think if you're going to do something like this, you should commit to it because Resonating Glaive Adepts are kind of bad in a long game versus Terran.
In
Like,
the long
Adepts have,
yeah.
Adepts have 4 range, a maxed out Bioforce. Once you have combat shields and you're not two-shotting the Marines anymore, it's just not good. You'd rather have charged zealots with upgrades on armor or, you know, disruptors or storm. The Adepts are great for harassing, but usually you want to get that ball rolling pretty early on. So he's going to go straight into armor after the +1 attack stun. Resonating Glaives is close. It's a weird way to do it because there's no robo, so I don't really...
Yeah, that is the kind of weird aspect of this. There's no robo, and that also means there's not going to be a Warp Prism, but the medevac is going to be unloading over the natural. There's no actual units over there. There's a single Adept, but there is the Warp, and it looks like Astrea is on top of this. He's going to be reacting pretty quick.
It's not even enough to kill the Widow Mines before they burrow, though.
Yeah.
So 2 of them get saved. Medevac should get... Nope.
Whoa, very close.
Well, that's just, yeah, loses a couple of his Adepts, which also takes a lot of the wind out of the sails of any sort of Adept pressure that you want to do. Curious build choices by Astrea so far in today's WCS.
But I mean, considering the fact that he is going to have a completed third, as long as he can defend against any kind of aggression that Epic throws at him,
That's true.
it's not the worst situation.
That's true, Fear Dragon, but the third this fast for Protoss is standard. This makes sense. This is normal. What doesn't make sense is how is he supposed to hold this off with just Resonating Glaive Adepts if Combat Shield is about to finish? That's what makes me really nervous here for him. Like the one medevac being low on health, big target. But the Adepts here are not the ones that win this fight in a big way. Like Stalkers have 6 range. Adepts only have 4 range. If the Marauders are up front and take any of the hits from the Adepts, the Marines will vaporize them. +1 armor finishing soon is really nice, but that's about all I can give to him. Once +1 attack is done for Epic, it should help a lot. But all right, let's see it. He's warping in a lot of units, so his number of Adepts is like supposed to be his saving grace here. If he can get on top of everything, but he doesn't have Blink either, so he has to be careful. The Stalkers can't chase as fast as they might like to.
Yeah, Adept also trying to get some damage done over here, and like you said, Combat Shield's finished up, so those +1 Adepts do not two-shot the Marines anymore. Can still go after workers, though, and still two-shot those, so that's kind of the saving grace
He hasn't really gotten in there, though.
No, he's been able to kill
the
off.
worker count is another big problem here, though, Fear Dragon, because being at even workers with Terran is...
Not actually making more workers.
As a Protoss, you're supposed to be ahead in probes all game. That's like your quirk here, is that you can get that saturation on your third base crazy fast. and then you use that to bowl the Terran over with a huge mass of gateway units if you're going to do it like this. So I am concerned. The third base being built on location, this is probably the biggest opportunity for Astrea. Getting a cancel here would be really nice. A lot of Adepts are focusing down that command center, and that's going to force the Bio to engage.
He's not going to be able to get it, though. Guardian Shield is going to keep these Adepts alive for a little bit longer, but still not a large enough army.
They're not Zealots, man. These Adepts do not have the same impact in the fight. Now the counterattack here, getting inside of this mineral line is going to be able to get a lot of damage done for him. And he needs to make sure that he gets an SCV over there, raise the depots in the main base. Good play there. So the Adepts are all going to be stuck inside of the natural. You bring the army, clean them up. The forces west of the third base have all been routed, so there's nothing there that can deal with it. Pro production starts up, robotics facility starts up, but still a lot of bio left alive for Epic. And the Marauders, especially because Marauders now, you know, ever since their attack got combined back into being one, that the two armor of the Adepts it only affects the Marauder once now, which means the Marauders trade so much more effectively than against the Adepts than they used to.
Yeah, I mean, some worker damage done now, but Astrea's still in a rough spot. And the weird thing to me is also just the fact that he hasn't made workers for a long time, and now finally he's actually started remaking some, or like making some workers, but he's just been sitting on 53 workers anyway, so it's not like he was getting actually that much excess value from that third base either.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this situation, though, having the third base still was a really important save for Epic, because even though he was a little bit behind on worker count, then Protoss doesn't have the economic advantage that you'd be looking to. That Widowmine shot gets a huge splash all over the Protoss gateway army.
Yeah, there's just not enough Protoss here. The Adepts are all getting taken out one by one, and Epic is stemming his way forward to victory. Even the robotics facility pumps out an observer. What good is that going to do here?
His robotics facility being right here also is now a huge, giant target that for getting picked off.
Yep.
It's be like, or to scan and kill the observer, then it's like, then you have no easy way to deal with these. Epic really executing well. And I think he's got this game in the bag. Confusing build choice from Astrea. He wanted to go for Resonating Glaive Adepts, but he didn't want to do it in an aggressive enough manner, and Adepts are just not good versus a big bio army with Medivacs.
All right. Nice clean victory there for Epic for the most part.
Yeah, it was very, very well played by Epic. Like, he handled it perfectly. I wasn't really sure what Astrea was doing there.
Yeah. It's like an interesting builder. I wonder if he saw something that made him feel like he had to transition out, but he just didn't really have a good way to transition.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, getting the third base, like taking the third base early as Protoss is doable because Stalkers can pressure early, and they, you know, that extra damage that they do, the utility of Blink, and then the transition into charge. So by the time that you do push the Stalkers back and you have stem, a big wave of charge zealots comes in, you've got your forges running. But in this situation, it was like, I've got Resonating Glaive at depths. That
you know, I actually do wonder though, because he sees the medevac. If he thinks that it's a Widowmine drop, maybe he does believe that there's a lot more Widowmines still back at home. So if he does go for that attack, and
well, he doesn't want to try to shade on top.
Exactly. He's a little bit afraid about something like that, and thinks
that's why you get a prism.
Yeah,
so that
but he didn't have a robo. That was a big part of that push, is that there was no robo.
The question comes back to why exactly did he make the choices he made? I don't want to rib into him too hard. I'm just saying, personally, I'm confused by the strategy. Lost and Found is going to be the next map, it looks like, for this TVP. You guys watching WCS America? Hopefully you guys are having a great day out there, wherever you are. We've been live for quite a while. Went through all the European matches earlier today.
Had a pretty long day of matches, I would say. A lot of the matches going a bit longer.
The first set of the European matches went by pretty quickly. It got a little bit longer towards the end.
Yeah.
And we've had
I would say even the ZVZs though were actually a good bit longer than like the usual Ling Bane wars that we'd oftentimes see.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Still, lots of good matches today.
Yeah, we're loaded in here on Lost and Found. In the bottom left position, we have our Red Terran player leading 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, from Sidestorm Gaming, he is epic.
And his opponent spawning up in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have our blue Protoss player. He is Astrea, Sloth Esports Club. What is that number underneath the Sloth Esports Club logo? MMXVII?
I don't know. Maybe that's the year, some sort of thing for the year that it was established.
Yeah, I don't know what M's are for Roman numerals.
2017?
Maybe. I think that
I have no
Sloth
idea.
Esports Club. I think Sloth Esports Club. Let's see. I think they announced it at
Established 2007.
Cheeseadelphia 4.
I don't know. That would be my
Yeah.
best guess, Fear Dragon.
You know what? I'll take it. Good work. Good work, Nate.
That's my, you know, my other name's Bruce Wayne for a reason. I'm considered an amazing detective.
Okay. Well, detective, what do you feel like you want to see from Astrea? Do you want to see just a normal game?
I want to see a normal build. Yeah. I don't think that Astrea is a bad player, but his builds are, I mean, I don't want to be negative about it. I don't like the build choice from the last game. I want to see him do like a Twilight into Blink with the robotics facility. If he's going to open with Adepts, try to put some pressure on. If you're going to open, like, if you don't want to do that, get a Stalker or two, tech up, or like do something normal, like an Oracle opening, and then take your third behind that and try to put on pressure, get the revelations, play for that bigger mid-late game. Because I think Astrea is a good player, so...
I don't know if you're going to... Well, okay, I was thinking you might not get it, but okay. I thought there might be a proxy factory there.
Yeah, well, he's got it going at home.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting...
Proxy starports?
Think about. He's a little ways away from it, but
Yeah.
I guess that's what he's going to do.
If the SCV just went out really early or something.
Could be nice for like a Hellion play or here's my job. Okay, see, like I don't even mind this because the Reaper's going to go into the main. I mean, it might, you know, I say that, but because I said that, he's probably going to scout it anyway.
No.
But if the Reaper goes into the main base and he doesn't see this, then it's really nice. It's like, yeah, I'll poke the Adept, but not a huge deal. And I already like this so much more. The probe manages to get back here. It's being annoying. Oh, my God. Is he gonna
Build the pylon, build the pylon, build the pylon!
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, what's your Hellion gonna do? Oh my God.
Quick.
Continue to block it, continue to block. Oh.
Rage. I'd rage so hard.
I would just continue to block that barracks, man.
And every Terran player watching the stream right now, just blood pressure went through the ceiling.
What reactor?
Smartwatches are notifying them that they need to make sure that they're okay. Oh my God.
Oh man, and I just realized
Trigger
also,
me, Timbers.
he's not even making more of these Marines. There's literally not going to be an answer to the Oracle. There's literally not going to be an answer. Okay, there's going to be a Cyclone. A Cyclone out.
This is what
That Hellion's going to die.
This is the definition of pain. Okay, well he gets. Looks like he got the. Did he? The Adept? Yeah, he got.
Yeah, you got the Adept. You got one Adept. There's another Adept coming.
He's still losing stuff there.
Oh my God. Kill the Marine. Kill the Marine. No, okay. I guess the Cyclone's going out.
Well.
He softened up the Marine though. Now the Oracle will two-shot it with 2 ticks of damage.
Yep. That Cyclone.
And you can still go after the Cyclone technically.
Target painted on his head.
Yeah. Do you go after the Cyclone or do you just go after workers?
Cyclone lock-on will take the full duration of it to kill him, which is like 14 seconds, so I just kill workers. By the way, he moved the Cyclone out anyways, it doesn't matter.
Okay, not too much damage.
Yeah,
so
running
far.
everything back to the natural was definitely a good call. I think you don't know if he's building like more Cyclones out of the factory, so you don't want to lose the Oracle.
Yeah.
He built another one, so double Oracle.
Ooh, okay.
He's building a third.
Hold on. So we do have the second Oracle coming forward, but I just want to note in the production tab that there are just the Oracles out there in the structures tab, and there's no Robo or anything being produced, and there is a Cloak Banshee on the way. That is the way for Epic to get back in this game.
Yeah, Oracle, when he realizes it, like he can try to get out another Oracle and use that to
like that, or
it.
like even just a Phoenix.
But that's still very expensive. And the Helly hasn't made it into the main base mineral line.
Ouch.
There's nothing here.
I wish you could say, oh my God.
So round. Okay. So you're gonna tase that Mad Max to death. Really nice to get that extra shot off. 4 probes killed. Well, having used the Oracle like that ends up being beneficial because if he keeps it at home and doesn't have it use any more of its energy, that Banshee's not going to feel comfortable.
He's going to bank the Banshees.
Yeah. Well, if you hit with 2 at once, then you can't like stack. Like the Revelation is probably the widest area of effectability in the entirety of StarCraft. Maybe the only thing that comes close to it, or is maybe barely bigger, would be like the scan from the Portal command. So you want to put each Banshee in a different base. You don't want them even remotely close to each other.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to dodge out of both of them. But okay, there is that first Banshee. Probably going to get Revelation. There's already a couple Stalkers out. Just focus fire down as many workers. No, okay.
Well, he's like, if I can make it to the
Stalkers
don't have Blink.
Oh my God. No, if you kept running. If you kept running. I guess the Phoenix is coming out.
Yeah,
probably
no, I like this. This is a good place, I think, finishing these off. Because even if he got away, the Phoenix would have vision because he's his Revelation. So.
All right, well, here comes another Banshee. The Oracle's going to be on the hunt
he
for
has
it.
another Revelation.
There it is. Banshee is going to go down without getting any damage whatsoever.
Unlike TvT, these scans do not hurt the Protoss economy. I think if you see 3 Oracles, I think it's time to pack up the Banshee memes and fly that bad boy home.
Yeah, still going to make another Banshee, though. That's kind of interesting. All right, Reaper going to be making its way across the map, but not for very long. Oracle handles that, and it seems like Astrea really does have a pretty solid handle on this game, setting up a decent number of workers, which is fine for PvT, but he also has a third base, has shut down Epic's kind of ability to be aggressive.
Yeah, Widowmine is going to land on the Phoenix, which is the ideal scenario. Nice. The Phoenix can tank the mine shot, so even if he kills it with the Cyclone, the Oracles have delayed the production.
Goodbye.
3 of the barracks. And done some damage to the Cyclone, and then there's the Revelation. So there you go. I would have liked to see the target fire on the... It's always the target fire on the stem. That's...
Yep.
Ooh.
You know what, the thing is, though, sometimes you get the eye on the prize for like that, and then it just backfires somehow. Like, I think enough Protoss players have had that happen to them, and they were like, okay, not going to rely on just killing that tech lab. Okay, Banshee comes back in.
This is really nice because there's still no robotics facility, so you force an Oracle to be at home at all times to try and deal with that. Still get some probe kills, which is nice. Goes over to third.
And remember that Phoenix died earlier, so he has to remake that Phoenix if he really wants to guarantee the kill on that Banshee.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Just remade it. That's still a good amount of damage done.
Yep, Phoenix is not cheap at all. When you're only just building one, it's like that doesn't guarantee anything. They're not that great against medevacs when there's just one of them.
He's still just got that starport out there.
Why not?
I mean, the weird thing here, though, is that because he does have the second starport back at home. Widowmine.
Ooh, some force fields could. Yeah, that hurts.
Oh. Ooh, okay. Softens up the shields. Another Widowmine connection could be big. And
okay, I think at this point you got to just walk your stalker forward and back. He's eating a lot of shots when he's about to eat. And,
okay, blocks out of, or dodges out of that one, and he is going to be able to take care of the Marauders, take care of the Widow.
This with the Oracles. Okay, Astrea's got something good going on over here. Great force field on the main ramp.
And that's going to be a little too much. Epic just put up a really good fight with the Cloak Banshees and everything.
Oh my god.
Like Astrea.
And that Widowmine actually, like, hit all the SCVs that were trying. Delaying the production in that situation is huge.
Yeah.
Can't overstate how big that was. The Oracles came in and delayed those racks for like 30 or 40 seconds.
I mean, there's an extra, what, like 10, 12 Marines?
Yeah, I think you've got easily another 15 or 20 supply to try and defend against that attack. Because the Widowmines actually did a phenomenal job. They did what they needed to do. Okay, Medevacs tried, but there wasn't enough bio. GG Astrea ties the series up. That is a little bit more what I wanted to see. You know, a little bit of Oracle play.
Standard game.
Yeah, and that is close enough to standard. Like, Epic does the proxy Banshee, but I thought the Banshee did a great job. He forced the Oracles to stay at home a lot more. He got a lot of probe kills. Probably should have flown it home after the second Banshee, my personal thought. Yeah. The last one that he made did get like 6 probe kills, but using the Oracles to then get aggressive, micro well, use the Phoenix, you know? If he was a terrible player, the Oracle flies into the Widowmine, and then you're like, well, I don't have the ability to really, you know, manipulate my opponent the way that I want to. So I thought that his control is a lot better. I don't know why he does the weird strategies. Yeah. You know, Stargate into something like Blink Stalkers there with a couple of sentries makes way more sense.
I also want to just give a shout out to that MVP pylon that went down that blocks the reactor from coming down.
Yes,
that game was off the back of that. That probe actually won that game.
That's an inexcusable mistake from a Terran player. That's the absolute worst. Yeah. That is your doomsday scenario, is you don't get the probe, and then you lift your barracks, and it's like pylon on the reactor.
But I do want to say, Astrea did a pretty nice job of kind of hiding that from the Reaper and getting it around. The Reaper gets sent out. It is a little bit greedy, I would say, to still try and go do all of that at the same time that you just don't have anything else coming out.
That probe Reaper dance is like an art in and of itself. So
I hope that one day I, too, can be a master of getting my probe out like that. But alas, Astrea will just have to deal with the victory that he just got from that. Move on to game number 3.
Yeah. It's going to be on Acid Plant to wrap up this Terran versus Protoss here in our loser match of Group D. And we use that word loser because the loser is out of the group. They will be eliminated from our final season of Challenger this year in the World Championship Series Here in the top left position of Acid Plant, we have our Red Terran player. He is epic.
And spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have our blue Protoss player. It is Sloth Esports Club's Astrea. And I actually want to emphasize the importance of something that is in these, like I guess this final season of Challengers. We are having a bit of a drop. Actually, funny, it's from Astrea, not from Epic, who's playing from Europe.
Oh, well, maybe he's playing from Astrea. Got him. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll probably end up remaking the game, or he'll reconnect and everything.
Yeah.
Fine. Who knows?
But I was gonna say, like, one of the important things about this particular season of Challenger is the next and final WCS event for a lot of these up-and-coming North American players. Because a lot of these NA players, they're not going to be like the ones that play in GSL versus the World and everything, like a lot of the up-and-coming players like Epic or Astrea. So they get the big WCS events. They get things like WCS Montreal. A lot of those NA players, East Coast, they're going to be going to Montreal. What they would hope that they would qualify and, you know, get that top 4 spot and get that seeding into WCS Montreal. But even if they don't, having WCS points so that when you enter the open bracket for Montreal is
true.
so important to make sure you get a good bracket, because otherwise you end up in a group with Sarah or something, you're like the low seed. It's actually really critical and crucial that players get as many points as possible before that big event.
Yeah, that's everyone's worst nightmare when you're playing in the tournament, is getting put versus Cyril, the man who seems absolutely untouchable. It looks like we're going to recover this one from the replay, I guess. And yeah, they're just double checking everything really quickly.
And I also just confirmed that Epic is in fact in Europe.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, well, I guess, has anything actually happened? No, nothing's actually happened.
Now we just wait for the admin to do stuff.
Oh, I see why they want to recover, though, because it's also the fun aspect that Astrea is currently, I want to say, like 250 minerals instead of 150 for the gateway right now. He's kind of floating like an extra 100, so they probably want to recover because he's already behind in his build order also.
Yeah, but if he's behind because the thing disconnected, they'd probably go a few seconds before it disconnected anyway. The only reason you would recover replay in this scenario is to keep the player spawns.
Yeah.
Because
just recover at 0 seconds.
Yeah, because the absolute last thing that you would want is to give the Terran player the advantage of having their add-ons on the right side and not exposed to the outside world.
Oh yeah, Epic got the unfortunate spawn in this one.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna recover this one from the replay. So
okay, so we should
Terran vs Protoss memes coming up very soon, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I hit the drop button? Or do we need enough votes?
Is that our job?
Do we need enough votes? We need enough votes, right?
I don't know.
Okay,
yeah,
we're good. We're good.
There we go. It doesn't matter. We're fine.
I'm never sure actually how they calculate how many votes you need.
I don't press buttons. I don't do stuff, man. Okay. I turn chat to emote only mode, and people are like, "Why are you destroying the channel?" I'm like, I don't understand.
You are the Jeff.
I'm literally just trying to have a good time over here, man. Just casting some StarCraft.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like while we get things resolved, we are going to hop to a short break, about 3 minutes long. So please don't go anywhere. We're going to find the epic conclusion of this upcoming match. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks. Thanks for your
back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still waiting to get into that next game.
We've got the lobby ready.
We do have the players
Everybody's
ready.
here.
Getting everyone in here. Astrea has restarted his client or maybe the PC and everything. Epic is patiently waiting somewhere in Hungary as he studies abroad.
I thought he said he was hungry. My bad.
He might also be hungry.
Yeah.
It is, you know, it's a pretty late hour for them over in Europe.
Yeah, 9:30. You should have had dinner by now. Come on.
Wait, when did you normally eat dinner?
I mean, I finish my stream around like 7-ish. I try to eat before 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I eat after that, it's because I'm watching a movie or something, you know.
Oh, fair enough. I
Get some
I grew up
grapes.
eating dinner like 9 to
fruit.
10.
What?
Yeah.
No, man.
But I also ate lunch at like
Nathan had to catch a school bus at 5 in the morning because I live in the middle of nowhere, so that wouldn't fly.
All right, well, we are back in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and do this. Still that decider match. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is our red Terran player. It's Epic from Psystorm Gaming.
And his opponent in the bottom right, he's blue, he's Protoss, he's Astrea. He's Astrea.
Okay, well, Astrea sending that early probe scout across the map. Nothing super duper crazy happening just yet, but of course I would not be surprised if Astrea did do something weird again. I just see him doing so many weird builds. I know he has a strong standard, but I also think that he actually has some pretty strong weird builds as well.
Yeah.
They don't always work though, admittedly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like it. I actually don't like Astrea doing his weird builds. He played the last game a little bit closer to standard. The Banshee still did a lot of damage, but he seized opportunities, and because he was doing something that made sense, like, if he had just pushed, imagine the last game, and instead of like, what was it, 10 Stalkers and 3 Oracles, it's like 7 or 8 Adepts with a couple Sentries. I think the bio rolls that, and the Widow Mines blow it to pieces because the Adepts have less range. And they also are smaller and they clump up. Like,
I don't think that I want to see...
Building a normal army just makes more sense.
I mean, I don't want to see like the +1 Adept attack again, but I do think that he has some other really strong pressures. And I do think that even like the 3 Oracle thing, and yeah, you see it occasionally in PvT, but I don't think you see it that quickly and that fast.
My justification here is I'm not hating on Astrea.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he is good when he plays something that's a little bit closer to standard or closer to normal. He looked really good in that last game. And I'm very happy that he's doing this game. He's opening with 2 Adepts. He's going into a Stargate. He's continuing to build probes. And this already has me feeling better than I did about the first game in this best of 3. So
okay,
that's all I'm trying to say, Fear Dragon.
that's fair.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, Probe is going to be moving forward and seeing, all right, I still don't really see a Reaper coming out. I see the reactor on top of that barrack, so he's going to know it's just Marines popping out. He saw the factory, he saw the starport back at home, so that also settles any kind of potential doubts or fears that there might be some proxy starport shenanigans. Actually, he didn't see the proxy, or he didn't see the starport, but well, either way, he's still going to be moving across the map with the Adept and seeing what damage he can get done while the Oracle pops out.
Yep. Now, because this is that Widow Mine opening again, as that bad boy is going to burrow, we have to keep in mind, oh wow, look at that, he's going to go for a fast Viking. We don't see this crazy often, but because he scouted the Stargate, he wants to have that ability to push back the Oracles in case maybe the Phoenix comes by or something along those lines. But look at this, using the Adepts, getting some utility out of these, being at least get an SCV or 2 without dying. That's going to be great. Delaying that supply depot. Really nice. That's the only depot he's got in production that's going to supply block him for just a little bit.
There's not even SCVs here on the low ground anymore. So it's actually going to really get delayed.
Though.
Yeah, lose the Adept. Oh my god, did the Widow Mine actually kill the Oracle? Where is it? Oh no, it's over here. Okay. I got scared for a moment.
It's okay, Fear Dragon. I'm here for you. I got you, buddy.
All right, SCVs start to go down. Gets 2 of them.
That depot's never going to finish. So close.
He's still a 46.
There we go.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. Well, trust me, if there's one thing I am an expert on StarCraft, it's getting supply block for the Dragon.
Yeah, Oracle gonna look for another opportunity to get some damage on, but there is that Viking we were talking about. Revelation just gets thrown down, so he has basic information, sees the additional barracks being popped up, just adds on a couple of gateways of his own while he gets up a 3rd.
Yep, and I like this Twilight Council. I mean, at this point, if you keep building Oracles, there is the thing that some people will do where they'll transition into like, a big, you can do like Adept Oracle or like Adept Phoenix, or Charge Lot is also great too. You know, you utilize your really fast units and you just kind of swarm over the enemy and then they can't really escape. Off the back of that third, I haven't liked the Adept play so far, so I will also say that it is fine if he gets Blink too.
He has some, I will say, I've seen him especially, it's not as much in PvT that I see it, but I see him do a lot of like PvP Blink Stalker all-ins, and I would say he has some pretty good
pressure.
He has good Stalker pressure.
His Stalker pressure won him the game last game, and here, or we closed it out for him. Excuse me. There were a lot of things that happened in that game that were kind of weird that influenced it, but I think going for Blink here is really smart. Get your bases up, have a lot going for you. Use the oracles to tag, and then, you know, drop. I would say drop 2 forges whenever he thinks he can as well. But what we might end up seeing is something similar to the other game where it was like he didn't fully saturate the third. He just built a lot of stalkers, got a few sentries out, and then did that big stalker sentry pressure, just force fielded him into the natural, which can also work. That's not bad either with Guardian Shield.
Okay.
Except this time around, he wouldn't have anything upgrade-wise.
Yeah, still got to be careful. He knows that there's a Widow Mine somewhere out on the map from earlier on in the game, but just going to throw out a couple of revelations, keeping an eye on his opponent once again. Should be able to
he can check over there. If you see both Tech Labs spinning like that, that's 99% of the time that's going to be combat shield and stem researching. Yep. So you can have some idea, some way of gauging how far along that is. And if you see the army move out, run in and snipe one of them.
Yeah, warping in a bunch of stalkers right now. If he goes out and tries to meet this army and utilizes Blink in a moment, he could maybe pick away a bit at it, but it looks like Blink is just nearing completion, but not quite there yet.
It's going to be difficult. It's a big army for Epic. But I think what Astrea is doing is really good. It makes a lot of sense. He's got force fields available. Guardian Shield is going to be really nice. However, +1 attack is about to finish for Epic, so that is going to help him punch through that Guardian Shield. And he's going to follow this up with a custom shell. He's got his combat shell. He's got his stem.
Okay, that's
scary.
That's a lot of stalkers.
A couple force fields, and the stalkers should be able to rip this to pieces.
Oh, what a mines.
He has a revelation. Building the mines should be easy. Just don't need any mine shots. That was
okay, you got a little close. That is a really, really nice and easy.
And this is some great control out of Astrea. This is what I was saying before. Like, this is what I want to see. This is some good gameplay out of him. He's got a big army. You have to be constantly aware of the opponent. Using the revelation is so nice. You know, you can't really fight against it. It lasts as long as it does. There's no way to get rid of it. It's not like an observer. You can't just scan and snipe it. So it's a really nice way to have vision on the army. There we go. Guardian Shield is just going to come up. And you just got to be careful with the blinks. Few solid force fields. And what you really want to do, that mine shot does get off on the sentry, killing the Guardian Shield one, but not before a bunch more force fields.
Whoa!
Army, he's going to chase Astrea moving forward on top of this army. He can see where all the medevacs are. He knows that there's not a whole lot under them. However, there are a few Widow Mines. Okay. Saves a few.
Okay, got a blink of...
Okay, no, he gets that one.
Yeah,
well,
still gets Widow Mines still.
At this point, I would be concerned about overextending, but he's got another big warp in there, as he's had that pylon there for a little while. Don't eat the mines. Okay, good dodge. One of them is still active, though. Good force fields.
Yeah, traps in a lot of these units. Viking finally does go down. The Widow Mine gets taken out. He's going to eat another Widow Mine. Loses a lot of the shields there, so has to be a bit careful. Big pickup. And
nothing here to this third.
Oh, that's it.
Super dead. And Charge is going to finish soon. He's dropping triple stasis ward because he's like, I don't know, I guess if he's worried that the army might collapse on him. I'm like, you don't need to do that, Astrea.
Oh, starts off 1-1 upgrades, knowing that if this game goes any longer, he's going to just get further and further ahead.
So well done by Astrea.
Really well done.
He's pushing through this. He's got so many stalkers. The Liberators should not be able to handle this. Now, with the amount of Marauders that there are in this force, he's bleeding out a lot, but he has so much more to bleed than his opponent.
Even if he loses everything.
With no workers, and Astrea's on 3.
He's on 4, actually, soon. 1-1 upgrades also on the way here for Astrea. Even though
why didn't he do this in the weird Adept game?
You know what?
This was so good.
You know what? I don't hate the fact that he tried something.
Maybe, but that's why I was saying what I was saying, because his control here has been really good. He played this perfectly, and I have no idea what Epic's going to do. You're locked down on 2 bases versus the soon-to-be 4-base Protoss. The only upgrade advantage he has is that +1, which will be gone soon as both forges are spinning. Robo Base coming in 4th base. He's getting revelated, so he can use it to pick up the mines, blink back, and he can't even chase this army that far because there's stasis wards here.
Yep. Widow Mines all getting taken out as well. Zealot. Okay. So it doesn't need to set off anything because there's no Widow Mines left over anymore.
He doesn't need to push into this.
No, he doesn't.
He could. That's maybe the one way he can throw this.
Yeah.
But get another Robo. Just start building Colossi. Keep building Stalkers. Keep getting upgrades. And the Terran player should not be able to break out of this. I mean, you can even send the... I don't... You know, I was thinking maybe try to kill something with the Oracles, but I actually think just keep using Revelation. Don't let him like put stuff in the medevac and try to fly around or something weird like that.
Yeah, I would even hate if just like one of the Oracles that has a lot of energy just goes after a reactor or something, just slows things down even more. But here we go. He's actually going to try and push into this. He knocks down the bunker.
Dead.
Zealots.
Hey, but the Liberator is still alive. That is a lot of damage. There's a lot of firepower coming out of it. He kills more SCVs. There's the scan going for the stasis traps.
He's going to be able to push him back finally at long last, but it's not like he even has too much of an economy to work from here. He does have a third base, but it's not really going to be able to mine anytime soon. And Colossus, double Colossus production is on the way.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what really is going to make this so hard. The Widow Mine setup is not going to help as much. There's the Observer you have, so that gives you your constant detection path now for Protoss. And I love this. I love this for Astrea. Epic. I don't know what he can do in this situation. He managed to hold on to his natural, but now what he needs is these Liberators to literally kill everything. And yeah.
It doesn't feel very likely right now.
Doesn't feel very likely. Protoss is on their way to 2-2. He's down 70 supply, and it is both workers and army. So this big Protoss death ball.
Moving out of the wrong way.
Yeah, the Liberators are like, that's where you try to find your purchase. But he's just gonna move into this, pop the Guardian Shield, attack move, let the Colossus do their thing, make sure the Stalkers kill the Liberators. The Liberators are dead. That should be it. Everything else is just gonna be vaporized by this Protoss army. Yeah. Fantastic gameplay by Astrea here in the second and third game. GG, and he is gonna keep his chances alive here in this group.
Moves on to that decider match to play versus the loser of the upcoming match, but really, really well played, and I agree.
I loved it. I think
that was really solid play.
When he played straight up, like his micro was good, his macro was good, his build was good, everything was great out of him. So I'm like, just don't do a weird build where you open up with a few adepts and take a third with resonating glaives. Like, it's not PvZ, and even if it was, you still wouldn't do it there anyway. Like it was a very weird just a weird choice. Like, I don't hate the guy. I'm just like, you're better than that. And he played better than that. And he did it. I'm proud of him.
I agree, but I don't hate.
Triggered me because I know he's better than that.
I know. I don't hate the idea of just throwing out something kind of weird and funky as a game number one and saying, okay, whatever, it's game number one. I'm still in this, even if I lose this game. And then just kind of playing out from there. But either way.
You know what? I'll give you benefit of doubt. Maybe he was trying to stun on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just styling.
All right, but regardless, guys, that does mean that Astrea is going to move on to that next match. And our upcoming match, as you guys can see, is going to be Masa versus Semper. That is going to be super fun. That's a very exciting one.
Player portraits, the dream.
Oh, yeah. All right, Masa versus Semper. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to miss this one as these two NA Titans collide in the North American scene.